Okay, I think it's done. It's done. All right. So a few of you have asked about uh, the guy that passed away, George Floyd, and then the guy that actually put his knee on his neck and killed him at the same time, the police officer. The day that it happened is on this day. And so when we are looking at this, uh, basically a lot of people are asking, is he going to get away with it? He's definitely not going to get away with it. And the reason for that is because he's in penalty, he's in clash, and the actual day there's a penalty, a clash, two penalties, and a clash, Hajj, which means that whatever he is going to do this year, from January basically until February, from February 4, sorry, to February 4 next year, he is in trouble for the whole year. Okay, so hi, Amy. All right. So this is George, the guy that died. George, sorry, I have to have a look. George Floyd. So this is him. He is water. Now this man's chart is nothing but water and earth. So he has three ticks in water and he has three ticks in earth. By nature, the earth actually dams the water and stops the water. And so he is challenged all his life. He has been challenged. Okay, there's kind of he has not come up once for a good breath of fresh air in that way. And from doing his chart, he had 32 to 42 was pretty good for him, so that he had that 10 years, but then 42 it came, and this is what it is: the horde, the fire. That fire clashes here, that fire clashes here. There is some harmony here, but it's not enough. And all that clash is on what we call a trouble star, and it is fire as well. So this is his money. He could not, in the 10 years that started from 42 to 52, no matter what he tried, elementally, it's a chart that is unbalanced to begin with, because all it has is three waters and three earth. And that earth is damming the water. So the water has a dam wall here, a dam wall here. It cannot move. Okay. Very, very harsh for him. And then to add the clash, and the clash, we say, what does it sit on? So the clash actually then sits on a trouble star. So it's like that. Okay. So the snake keeps going, it sheds its skin, so he thinks everything's getting better, and then it starts again. Okay. And it's called a travel star, and it is all about his money. So his money gets him in trouble. So he'll find a job, but he can't keep it because in 6 days he may lose it, or three. It depends on what the year is, etc., etc. There's a little bit more going on. I don't want to bore you with it. I just want to show you the overall thing. Now, if I had looked at his chart, I would have said he's challenged. He needs to be in a good home, etc., good room, Then it will help him, because he is totally challenged throughout his life. Now, to add to this is the day, 25th of the 5th. All of a sudden, on this day, he gets arrested. It is when he did get arrested, it was 8:28. So that 8:28 added, because this is also earth, it added more earth to here. Okay, so it made like another dam wall. So think of it this way: dam wall, dam wall, dam wall. He was probably flowing that way. Now that dam wall came up and he had nowhere to go. He could actually not go anywhere. Hi, Vivian. So to explain it for you a little bit better, this is the water. All the earth in his chart is the people in authority. So on the actual day, we added another to authority. Okay, so what we've done there is, hi Tegan. So what we've done here is he had dam wall, dam wall, dam wall, dam wall, and we've just sealed it. Okay, no, I shouldn't say we've sealed it, but the universe on the day sealed it. And for this, he was not getting out of it because he's already in the same thing here as money issues that brought him that money issue. And what water needs wood to get through, no wood whatsoever. Okay, so for him, it was very, very hard. Hi, Lorraine. So as I said before, 1, 2, 3 herbs, 3, 4, 5 herbs on the day, and then a 6th herb when he got arrested. So this dam wall, or this water that was flowing, trying to find, and it was about money, the clash, something about he had a $20 paper that, or whatever they call them, to buy food, and they said it was forged or something like that. Okay, now these two guys know each other. They work together. They kind of know each other at the same time. And for him to do that, still no one can explain it. Okay, so on the day, this is the dragon. George already has a dog. So what happened here is he was actually stuck between heaven and the underworld. And you know, every time we have one of those days, I actually say to you 3 breaths. But someone had their knee on his neck, and that was what he wanted. He's trying to say, I can't breathe. Because if you don't breathe on those days, you get stuck there. Okay? So when I say to you, you need to breathe 3 breaths, that is because that's what you need to settle it all down. Okay? But what he needed was wood on the day to get him out of this. There was no such wood on the day. There was no wood in his chart. Even when the hour ticked over, so this was 8:25 p.m. Then when the hour ticked over, where he died, he actually died water and water. Now, all that much water with all of his water, that's people like him. And that is a travel star, which means that that hour clashes with that, it clashes with that, which then means, and what it's actually saying is, because he is water, all of this water, right, all of it is like people like him. So people like him, meaning family, friends, colleagues, siblings, all of that, it's a travel star, so they're going to follow. Hence, all of this has happened. It is not going to ease off, and until Friday. On Friday, it's going to turn into a bigger penalty. Okay, so the whole idea of when we do pillars is to understand why something happened. And as I said, I'm not going to look for every single day for this person, but he has been in this from 42 until now. So at 47, which is what he is this year, so at 47 for him, the money issues became worse. He lost his job. That's the travel start. There was a big change. Okay. So he lost his job, and that's why he had to get the coupons or whatever they call them. But it was right here. So again, being in a good home, sleeping in a good energy actually helps you get over it. Doesn't prevent it totally, because this is bad luck, bad luck, bad luck, bad luck. That's the whole chart, right? And so here it tells us that something's going to happen here. So when I look at this, I see noblemen's, I see, I don't see noblemen's on the day, but the academic stars, meaning there's a legacy that will be left behind from this. We are also here in Australia, we are also taking a day to actually honour this person, and, like the rest in peace, candles, whatever it is. So the whole world is doing it. So that's a legacy. That's what we talk about academically. Academic stars are legacies. Now, the other thing is, the guy that did this, Derek, his name is, he is yang metal. So for him, yang metal is very moralistic. So being a cop is fine, except this cop actually has a time bomb that he sits on. And so from the day he became a cop, he was ruled by power. Okay. So he just wanted to shoot, whatever, whatever. Okay. That's his destiny. That's his chart. So from 35 to 40, the energy that he came into is, we call that wood and earth. So the wood is controlling the earth. The earth is actually his thinking. So in his thinking, on the day, his thinking is right here is the dragon. Above it, there's fire. So his thinking is very, very strong thinking. And so on the day, Haina, so here's the dragon, here's another dragon. So that's what we call a penalty. Whatever was in his head, whatever he decided to do was a penalty. A penalty is like a slap in the face and you don't see it coming. So for him, he thought he was tough, controlling this guy, but did he realize he was going to kill him? And in that very moment, I reckon he did realize, because here's that dragon and this is the day. So the penalty was already there. Both these earths are his thinking. Remember, it's his thinking. Both these earths are his damn war, no way out. For him, it was his thinking. So this is what we call then excessive thinking, and that's what a nutso does, excessive thinking, okay, as in, Silence of the Lamb type nutso, that sort of thing, okay. Hi, Rita. So that's how this worked out. Now, this dragon and the dog, when this actually happened and he decided to put his neck on his neck, that was also we call it the net between heaven and the underworld. So for George, it sealed his fate. There was no way out. And for him, his thinking just did not, it was like, there is no heaven, there is no underworld, there's just me in the middle of it. And that's it. So he chose to wield the sword, make the decision himself, not listen to anybody else, and this was the outcome. Now, is he getting out of this? There is no way this guy is getting out of it, because he did this in a penalty and he did it in what we call the net between heaven and the underworld. So he's going down. When? I have no idea. I can't tell you that. I don't know how long they take to do this. So this horse that he sits on, this is what we call the house of spouse. So the house of spouse, is she going to hang around? Can't see it, because this is the rat of the year. It's actually a clash. This is his family. Are they going to support him? Can't see it. With the rabbit here and the rat year is a penalty. So that penalty is the year and the clash is the year. So that's basically family and house of spouse out the door. Nobody wants to be a part of it. It's what the year has brought. Now, this has been going on before this actually happened, and this may seal the deal. I don't know what will happen with his partner. I don't even know if he's married. But anyway, this is what I'm telling you, what this is saying. The other is here with the dragon, because it's a penalty. That dragon, with this dragon, the dragon is the end of water. So it's the grave of water, we call it. Hi, Judy. The grave of water means, because he is metal, what he produces and what he says is water. So it's the end, it's the grave. So yes, he will go away. And, will he ever get out? He's actually 44 at the moment. His new luck pillar starts at 45. But if his luck pillar at 45 came in, as in next year, and he hasn't been, he hasn't been sentenced yet, he may get a bit of leniency. But at the moment, because this goat and this horse do harmonize, it means it's not available, because it's not available. It's not favorable elementally. So he's thinking the earth is not favorable. It's not available for him. So that way out, the harmony, the combination of getting on the horse and riding off, not going to happen. Okay, and so you've got to look at this in so many ways. I've just chosen a real easy way for you to understand it, and I hope you have understood it. At 45, he comes into fire, and that fire is what controls this metal. So he's under control at 45. But it's also metal. Metal is also bars. So I don't know. It depends, I guess. But in this time period, it's actually better for him than this time period. But I don't know. Okay, it's not something I understand, etc. What their system is. The other thing is here that with this earth, this kind of earth is the mountain, and the mountain you are supposed to heed and just sit and breathe, but it didn't work that way because all these earths, all these dam walls stop this water from flowing. All these earths for this guy made him go nuts. So thinking he yields the sword, I'm going to control you. That was it. So that is actually what it was. Power got him, thinking got him. Okay. Any questions? No? Okay. Good. For those of you that came late, have another look at it just to see. But the day happened was the day it happened. It was, that rat penalty here, that rat penalty here. That rat made more water here, but the water was already in penalty. That rat also with his 10-year luck pillar with the goat is a third party. So, yeah, him and somebody else. Actually, there was 4 of them or something like that. Okay, so we'll just see what happens to him. But is he going to get away with this? No. This is very, because the goat is actually the end of fire, and fire is his power. It's the end of it. Even though he sits on that time bomb going off, this is the end of it. So it is going to finish for him. How it finishes, I don't know. It would actually depend on the day, etc., when he's sentenced and all of that sort of stuff. Okay. Have you spoke about Trump? Trump's actually in good luck, so he's not going anywhere. Yeah. So is ours. Ours is in good luck too. So he's not going anywhere, mate. I know people despise him, all of that. He's not going anywhere. And I have spoken Trump, Xi Jinping, and I've done Morrison, all 3 of them, but it was way back a while ago. I do have somebody that I want to do, and thanks Tegan for sending that to me. I love that. It's the girl that the Australian Federal Police raided her home. She's actually she's freed now. There was nothing to support that she was doing what she was doing. But the other 2 guys from, I think they're from the ABC, they're still not out of the woods in that. But I will actually do her chat tomorrow because it is really, really good. Yeah, okay. And, why this happened, etc. Okay? So, hopefully you will look at this, think about your own chart, and heed when, there's a day, like I tell you nearly every day, heed when there's a day where it tells you there's a lot of pressure on you, because you actually don't know what's coming. Okay? You'd have to come and learn it, and then you will know. But yeah, you'd have to sort of sit down through the hours of the day, because these hours of the day sealed it. Okay, he had enough earth, then we added more earth, and yeah. And who did this? It was water. So somebody exactly like him, he worked with this guy. Yeah, so they worked together as security or something like this. There's a thing on TikTok where someone sent it to, where somebody is actually asking someone at a 7-Eleven, and he said there was a hit out on him. This was like last, when it happened, that day after it happened or something like that. He said those guys work together. So there you go. He knew something no one else knew. But yeah, anyway. So the legacy he leaves behind is, there's that black and blue thing of the fight between the police and the black. I don't know. Will it be resolved? It really has to be resolved, but it's gone for too long. You can't do it overnight. All right. It's like the virus. You can't do it overnight. All right. So I hope that gave you a lot of info. Check your own charts. Check when I say things. I'm not pulling them out of my hat. All right. Have a great week. Yeah, and I will definitely do another one tomorrow with what was her name? Hang on, I'll tell you her name. I forgot her name. Oh, here it is. Anika Smithhurst. And then the other guys are Dan Oakes and Sam Clark. Both of them, they're still waiting to be prosecuted.